everybody, and welcome back to Alex Elliott Golf. I'm joined by a special guest today, Alistair Davies. Thanks so much for coming on the channel.
Pleasure.
If you've not already, guys, some great content up on his channel, Alistair Davies Golf. Go and find him on YouTube, subscribe, and look at all his great content. And down below, we'll put a link to get to his channel, his YouTube, his Instagram, everything down below for you to look at all his great content.
Thank you.
So, today, what are we talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about on-course scenarios, and again, what we've tried to feature with both my and your channel for this joint venture, if you like, is on-course scenarios. So we've done one already, which is a draw on my channel, which you've kindly talked us through how to hit a draw around a tree. Today we're going to talk about going under a tree. So we're on the 13th hole here at my home course, the Forest of Arden, and we purposely left ourselves a shot that's going to be to hit it low under a tree and try and run the ball onto the green in this ideal scenario. So as you can see here, the flag is cut slightly to the right, which kind of works quite well today for this particular shot. The fairway kind of cambers left to right by the green, so it's going to help the ball work its way to the flag if we can get it landing in the right spot.
Definitely.
And then we've got this overhanging tree, which is right in my kind of arc of my flight, really, if I was going to hit a normal shot. So a normal shot's pretty impossible unless you hit the ball ridiculously low. I can't hit that low with a normal shot, so we're going to have to manufacture something for me to do it. So I'm going to talk you through, with Alex's help, the process I would go through in order to hit a low shot, land the ball just short of the green, and then run it onto the green, and hopefully give us a putt for a birdie as we would do normally. So let's get to it, shall we?
Perfect. Now, like we said before, when we were doing the draw shot and we put it on your channel, we spoke about the lie to begin with and sort of like predicting the lie, didn't we?
Yes.
And we said if we were in the kind of fairway and we're behind a tree, we'd be able to predict what the ball's going to do a little bit easier.
Yes,
whereas
massively.
now in the rough, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. When we're in the rough, we obviously can get grass trapped between the club and ball, which creates flyers. It also can create, you know, don't always get the right ball speed off the ball because it can create a dampening effect. So it depends what kind of grass we have. We'll either get the ball coming out sort of flatter and further, which flatter would help in this scenario, or it can come out with less speed because we can't get to the back of the ball, you know, with enough purchase. Yeah, sure. This lie here today is pretty good. The grass is a little bit dewy, so it's going to create a little bit more of a flyer. How that works is for you guys is we get the moisture goes into the grooves. The grooves act as a kind of a way of getting rid of grass and moisture. Now if those grooves get full quickly, we don't get that kind of clean friction on the club face. We get that kind of impact of the grass on the club face and water on the club face, which can give us that flyer. We might have a bit of that, but obviously we're in control of this. We can wipe the club face. Yeah. So it's important that you clean your club face before you play shots if you make practice swings when the grass is wet, to be more predictable.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the first thing we would do. We want clear intent of the shot, so we want to really design the shot first. Again, the design is pretty much done for us. We have to go under the tree. I want it landing short of the green, probably about 30 yards. I want it left of the flag, so kind of the middle of that left section of the green as we look here, almost that dead tree we can see behind the green. And I'm going to try and hit the ball low. Now the yardage we've got here is about 140 yards. Now 140 yard shot for me would probably be in 9-iron or maybe a tiny bit off an 8-iron, but that kind of length. Obviously if I hit a 9 or 8 and I can't go over the tree, and I'm not going to go under the tree with that club. So I've actually got here a 6-iron, and I'm going to hit the ball lower just by using that club, but also then I'm going to change my pre-swing to adapt things to make this club go even lower again. So the steps would be, I'm going to move the ball further back in my stance. That's going to create less loft on the club as I make contact with it. Sure. So naturally that's going to happen. So normal ball position for a 6-iron would be just left of centre. I'm going to move this to just right of centre, kind of halfway between the centre of my stance and my right foot. So quite a bit further back. I'm going to go slightly narrower in my stance. What that's going to do is reduce the power I create naturally. Again, with a big wide stance, I'm going to tend to have a bigger swing. With a narrow stance, I'm going to tend to have a naturally shorter, more subtle swing.
And like you said, like we've got a 6-iron here, whereas usually kind of your 9-iron yardage. So that's a really good point to make, because people might try and make the same swing they would with a 6-iron, and then they end up going 20, 30 yards over the green.
Straight in the tree. Straight in the tree in this case, but it would go miles if we hit it that way. So we're looking to really reduce the distance this club goes. By reducing the distance, we're reducing the speed. Reducing the speed reduces the height. So that's part of the reason we're doing that. We're also then presetting ourselves to take loft off the club to make the ball go lower as well. So the ball's going back in the stance. Narrower stance, as we talked about. I'm going to place more weight to my lead foot, probably about 60%. No more than that. I could go more to hit it even lower. I don't think I need to for this scenario. Swing style wise then, what I'm going to try and do basically is shorten my swing slightly, both sides of the swing. The follow through definitely is going to be what I call much more curtailed, so probably about halfway through. again, because I'm trying to descend on the ball a little bit more than normal, punch the ball a bit more as we describe it. Making sure I get that kind of shaft lean basically through the golf ball to get that dynamic loft on the club as low as it can do at contact. Obviously, if I do this too much, I won't get enough height, but I'm pretty secure I won't do it too much. Based on my golf swing, it's going to be about right, or a little bit not enough, if anything.
Would you say, I know people might be doing this the first time, actually practicing these shots, would you say it's something they could almost practice on the range and almost paint the picture and think, right, if I choose a marker in the background or a tree in the background, I've got to keep it under that tree and really practice it there?
Definitely, you can use all sorts of stuff like that. You can even put some string out on the range if you wanted to. Getting on the golf course, there's no substitute for that. That's the best thing. But if you are on the range and you're limited for time, definitely mess around with the golf ball. Don't just aimlessly hit the same shot all the time. Hit draws, hit fades, hit high shots, hit low shots. Experiment a bit. It's good fun and it'll teach you more about your golf swing. So it's a good idea, definitely. Sure. If you can get on the golf course sometimes again on your own, chuck extra balls out and play different scenarios. It makes it more fun and you're going to learn as you go along. So let's go through the pre-shot routine and what we'll do. So again, practice swings are going to look like I'm trying to play. So much more punchy, much more curtailed, narrow stance, just a bit of brushing on the ground. I'm not worried about taking a huge divot with these practice swings. I'm going to try and get some contact because that's what I want. I'm going to line up again. I'm going to aim at that dead tree. So I'm going to pick a spot just in front of the ball, about 3 inches. I'm going to move the ball back in the stance, narrow stance, a couple of waggles just to relax, get comfortable, always be comfortable and always be target aware. And then I'm going to go ahead and play the shot. So I've got the right trajectory, pulled it a fraction and it's just gone to the back edge of the green. So pretty successful.
Definitely.
If it had been slightly less pulled, I would have had a shorter putt, but I'm pretty happy with the outcome anyway, especially from this scenario. Get it on the green or thereabouts.
I think it's almost like it's assessing your expectations of the shot as well. This is kind of like a recovery shot, and all we're looking to do, if you get on the green, then we've almost done our job there. It's not one we're trying to think, right, 10 feet birdie chance.
No.
It's one of those we give ourselves a chance of making our par more secure.
Definitely. If it goes closer and then you're on the green, then we're going to be really excited and happy.
Definitely.
But we have to look and be realistic. And, you know, I always relate this back to a lot of golfers because a lot of golfers come to me and they'll go on the course with them and their expectation is way out of whack for what they should do. The best players in the world average 8% error. So if we've got 140 yards, 14 yards from the flow is 10% error. So me as not the best player in the world, if I get it to 14, 15 yards, it's pretty good. I'm probably about 18 yards away from the flag there, going under a tree from the semi-rough. So it's kind of tick, tick, tick.
Exactly. And I think, like Alistair said there, it's being target aware as well, because you could almost get lost in what we're saying of how to create this and forget you've got the tree. Yeah. Be target aware, and yes, apply the impact factors and apply the pre-swing principles to get that ball lower, but be target aware. I think it's probably one of the main things you can take to the course.
Yeah, 100%. Too many players stare too much at the ball, think too much of the mechanics. Again, what we've done there is change the pre-swing to change your impact factors. We haven't actually talked through the impact factors. We've changed so much. You know, what happens is obviously we're creating a steeper angle of attack. As we move the ball back in the stance and make it steeper, our path is going to want to go more to the right, okay? Sure. So you might find as a player you have to swing a little bit more left just to compensate for that. Might. Judge it from the ball flight. Again, I pulled my ball, so it obviously wasn't the case for me. No. But if you find the ball goes to the right, just by all means either aim a little bit left or swing a little bit more left. Make the ball work for you.
Perfect. Okay. And like we said before, experiment. Because if you didn't experiment, you might know, oh, I'm actually just right at target all the time. So like you said before, I'm actually probably going to feel like I swing a little bit further left.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you for watching today's video on Alex Elliott Golf, and thank you, Alistair, for coming on the channel.
Pleasure. A
really good insight of how you're going to get yourself from these situations under a tree and give yourself a chance for a putt for a birdie. Guys, if you're not already, there's a link to Alistair's channel right at the end of this video. Go over, subscribe, and like all his content. And there's plenty more videos coming on-course scenarios with me and Alistair in the coming weeks. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.